Welcome back to Trading with CJ. We have for you a HCMC update. A lot has happened over the past few weeks. We've had motion to dismisses, we've had time requests denied, amended complaints, etc. We're going to keep this video to the point and give you the straight facts of what is going on with HCMC right now, because it seems to be back in the picture, okay? It was a bit touch and go when we got that denial for the motion to dismiss. However, things seem to be looking slightly more promising. We're going to go through all the latest news around HCMC. If you appreciate these videos on my channel and others on stocks, etc., please go ahead and smash a like and subscribe as well. We do have a free Discord with a HCMC channel, and you'll get all the documents in this video on that Discord as well. Okay, so let's get into this. HCMC time. Where do we stand with this one? Like I say, we've been talking about this since early in the year now, and it's a lot has happened. Okay, we have had the judge and back and forth, etc., from Philip Morris and HCMC. Our latest one, okay, was that motion to dismiss was denied. Okay, the judge denied it. So what did they wanted to do? They wanted to amend the complaint, and then that was where we're currently under. And then they actually filed for an extension on time. They wanted a couple of weeks extension to be able to amend that complaint even better. However, that was actually replied to by Philip Morris, and they basically listed a lot of things. Okay, they mentioned about the HCMC stock price history looking a bit iffy. They say about insider activity, press releases, etc., and they even called investors unsophisticated, and even attached a Reddit post on their findings. So yeah, it was pretty unusual to see that. However, that's what happened, and then in response to that, the judge actually denied the motion to extend the time, which then got us all a bit worried, because we were hoping very much that Philip Morris, that this extension would get granted, because if you're filing for an extension, you obviously want a bit more time for a particular reason, maybe to make your amendment even better. However, they didn't let us down. HCMC did put in their amended complaint, and that is where we're currently at as of this moment in time. Okay, that went in on Friday after market close. Okay, the motion to amend the complaint, and that is from HCMC. Now, there's a lot of documents on this one, so we're not going to go through them all. I'm just going to give you the gist of what is going on. If you want to see the exact documents and read through them all as well, they are all on our Discord, which is completely free. Link in the description. Where do we go from here? Is the complaint good? That's what we're going to cover right here, right now. So first up, okay, the first one here was 168 pages. There's 168 pages of different exhibits, okay, of different bits of evidence on how they are basically getting it back with this motion to dismiss, okay, how they are amending their complaint. Now, they have got this one here, this is exhibit 2, and this is a red line comparison from the original complaint. So you can actually go through this and see all the different changes, okay. You can see here they filed the amended complaint for patent infringement against Philip Morris. Okay, and it alleges here, of course, the infringement on the IQOS, and this all boils down to combustion. Does the IQOS system have combustion in it or not? If it does, and that is proven, then HCMC really should win the case, because they have a patent for that. So yeah, and in this document you can see there's a lot of red lining, which is what come out from the original one to now. And what they've done is actually done exactly what the court have mentioned. They mentioned about a lot of talk about this FDA stuff in it. Get rid of all of that. They've got rid of all of that, okay? So you can see they've just stuck that out. They've actually been more specific regarding the product, and they don't call it the infringing product anymore. They just call it the IQOS. We're going to be really specific here on what the problem is with the IQOS. So they have really amended a lot in this, okay? However, one of the biggest amendments, which I'm sure you're aware of if you have been following this one closely, is the addition of an expert in the field. Now right here they say here, declaration of Michael J. Diebel, PhD, okay, and he gives his actual description here of what combustion is. IQOS device is a handheld electronic smoking device. Okay, the heat stick is pierced by a double blade. He talks about exactly what the product does. He has done a full analysis on this product, basically. He attaches lots of pictures from their packaging, etc., on the own IQOS system, and he gives an exact description of what combustion is. And long story short here, he basically says he has found combustion to be evident in this IQOS system. Now you can actually see his findings on another document which is attached, which we'll cover in just a minute, but he says it on information and belief. IQOS system operates at temperatures up to 350 degrees Celsius. demonstrating that the heat stick is combustible material within the operating temperature of the IQOS system. So this is great news for shareholders. They have really pulled this one out of the bag, because what they've done is they've got somebody who's an expert in the field to actually do a deep analysis on this one and show all of his findings. And there is a massive document with all of his findings that demonstrates that, according to him, okay, quite evidently there is combustion for this product. It's going to be very hard for Philip Morris to counteract that. His exact definition here is: a combustion reaction is a chemical reaction that requires fuel, oxygen, and an ignition source. On information and belief that the heat stick provides fuel, air provides oxygen, and the IQOS system provides a heating blade, which is the heating element and the ignition source. Therefore, combustion does occur. On information and belief, the IQOS system generates combustion markers, including carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide, in sufficient quantities to indicate that combustion occurs in the IQOS system. So yeah, this is massive findings, and he has signed this document, okay, at the end of this, to say that what he says here is true. And yeah, this is massive to get an expert on board with this. So really, Philip Morris now have a task on their hand, and the next stage of this is for Philip Morris to reply, okay? In summary of all of this, there is actually a really good post here on Reddit about the summary, and of course, as Philip Morris user Reddit, why can't we? They say here, okay, a couple of different things. The first one was about the price, as we mentioned already. Not really talk too much about that, but they say here, HCMC points out the allegation by PM is false. The stock remained under the radar for quite a while. As we know, it's pretty much been under the radar, and then even over the last few months, it's stayed around the same price. And then we have the big testimony, okay, from the expert scientific witness who provided facts at the lowest base requirement for infringement and notice, therefore, in his statement. So in summary, the submitted response was on time, tick, and then forget about the grandstanding of the PM. Okay, they do this type of thing all the time with different lawsuits. Remember, Philip Morris have been under so many different lawsuits, okay, with BAT, other different cases. This is a regular thing with Philip Morris. Doesn't matter whether they are a massive company or not, okay. At the end of the day, if they are infringing on HCMC patent, then that is the real problem here. Let the science do the talking and see if PM or HCMC has a legal standing in this matter. So that's what's going on, okay. That was the breakdown from that particular article. Now, actually, of course, I want to touch on Julian Saunders here. He says, the scientists have spoken. A judge cannot decide and not to allow this to go to discovery now that an expert in combustion is willing to testify and show why there is partial combustion in PM's IQOS device. So this is one of our massive things. They have basically done exactly what the judge wanted. Get rid of the FDA stuff, make this more specific, and provide evidence that combustion occurs, which they didn't do in the first one. Maybe they didn't do it because, you know, they had it up their sleeve down the line. Maybe they thought the judge will allow this to go to court. However, that didn't happen, so now they need to just, you know, forget about hiding anything, bring it all out, pull out all the stops, and take it from there. Philip Morris now have 14 days from that to reply, okay? So they need to reply by the 20th to give us their response. Now, we're obviously expecting them to counteract all of this, maybe come up with something we haven't heard yet. However, there's only really a couple of things I can imagine that they're going to do. They're either going to question the validity of the experiment from the scientist, okay, saying something wasn't quite right, something is false, or they're going to get their own scientists in to prove the complete opposite, that it doesn't occur. They really have to do something about this scientist, because that is the massive, you know, thorn in their sword right now, okay? They really do have to get rid of this scientist, and I don't know how they're going to do that, but that's my two personal opinions. They're going to have to either pretend that these claims were false or get their own one in to prove otherwise. If they don't do that, I really don't see how this can be denied again. If it gets denied again, bad news for HCMC and all of its shareholders, okay, because that is the second motion to dismiss that will be denied. However, right now, things are looking slightly more promising for us, that's for sure. So we have 14 days for Philip Morris to reply. And then here's another catalyst for us, okay? HCMC get to reply again. So even after those 14 days, HCMC then get another 14 days to issue their response. So HCMC will get the last say in this before this goes to the judge. Then the judge can rule on this motion. Now, we said before, this could take about a month. It could take a few weeks. Or it could take even longer. All this time we've been waiting for the judge to reply on the motion, which we spoke about months ago now, okay? It feels like a longer time than that, months ago. And then we had that little bit of, PR coming out about the patent infringement. Philip Morris wanted to see, you know, their exact patents, etc., which is still ongoing as well. But yeah, the motion to dismiss can take some time, so we're going to expect it to take time. And this time it's probably going to take even longer, because this is really the be-all end-all now. And now we've got scientists involved. It's going to become a lot more complicated. Let's wait to see Philip Morris's reply. What are they going to say to this? They're going to have to come out fighting. because this is their product at the end of the day. And at the end of the day, this product gets them a big chunk of money every single year, 20%, okay? And at the moment, HCMC are not getting any royalties from that. So this could prove out very, very promising for HCMC going forward if they was to win the case, of course. Let's have a quick look at the stock price to round this off. We currently sit at 0.0010. We're back up to that around that range that we've been at for a few months. We was at 11 and 12. We're getting closer. We of course did see a spike after the news came out, okay, on Friday. We saw a spike up on the Monday. We went from 0.085 to up to 11. So it was up about 30% from this bit of news. Since then, you know, once again, we're kind of hovering around the same. I expect it to kind of remain around this until we get a reply from Philip Morris, which could potentially see this sell-off. People are fickle in this one. This is highly speculative. Always do your own research. We're following this one because it's exciting, it's curious. We're all curious about exactly what's going to happen. It could be a game changer if HCMC win, or you could just lose this money, and this has all been pretty much, you know, just a learning curve for everybody. But always do your own research when investing into the stock market. And if you appreciate all my videos on my channel, please go ahead and smash a like and subscribe to my channel as well. We're of course going to keep giving you all the HCMC news. The next one we should expect now is from Philip Morris with their reply. I'm intrigued to see what it could be. Who knows? Let's wait and see. Thanks for watching, and until next time.